he can.
Yes,
He's
he
gonna show you today. This is the Big Finish at Lincoln Lodge. We're about to get it on the show. So come on, everybody, and get the show on the road.
Let's get it on the road. Okay, hello.
Hello and welcome to the Big Finish with Jamie Schreiner and
Beckett Kenny here at the Lincoln Lodge. We got it going on this time. Ready? Okay, so it is. We're 1 week out from the big Jesus Day.
I know.
The big Christmas.
I know.
That's the day that we're recording. Beckett and I were talking. Beckett had a fun weekend. I had a fun weekend/week. I just got back from New York City. I was in New York City, you know. I'm walking here, and we're gonna catch up, chit chat, and then make a song about it. This is a Jamie and Beckett only app.
Honey.
And
We've been doing a lot of them, but
the people want. Same way.
I actually, you know what the people want? The people do want to be on this podcast. You were telling me about some like drag performers who'd reach out to you. I've had coworkers. I've had other stand-ups. And then I always go, oh my God, you listen? They go, well, I've seen the clips.
I love it. I'm sorry. I just hit the table, which is why I made that weird noise.
I know. I'm addicted to shaking things and hitting things around me, unfortunately. Yes. That's why I could not work in that, like, daycare. And... No, I'm addicted to, like, moving too much. It's hard for me to, like... I love when dogs sit in my lap, but I can't do it for long periods of time because I need to resituate.
You're tied down.
I'm too antsy. Also, here's another thing about me. Like, I love to pace.
I love a pace. When you're on the phone,
when I'm not on the phone, I love to pace, and then people are like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, can I just move for once in my life? Can I just? It's like they won't let you dance. They won't let you pace. It's like...
They won't let you sing. They won't let you speak sometimes. Even.
You're right.
It's just... shh.
Do you... But, like, people always ask me... And I mean, I'm always a little anxious, but I'm like... pacing helps me think, too, though.
Yeah.
I like that constant, like, motion thing of, like, you know, like a swing or, like, a pace or, like, a walk to, like... It
helps the thoughts come. No, and it's part of why it's like... I mean... Anytime that I'm trying to write or just trying to come up with a new thing, it's like I take these long walks. I take long, like 2-3 hour walks and try to just like not listen to any music, not listen to anything. Just like whatever I think of, write down. And I, especially when I'm on a phone call, I'm never sitting on a phone call.
No.
I hate it. And
it's
like, even at FaceTime, I'm like, oh, I'm cooking dinner. Like I've like put them in the stove. Not the stove, in the, what is this? When you open it, a cupboard? Like, is that a cupboard?
It can be. You know what? Several things open that way is what's ultimately tripping me up is that like I'm aware of like several different household objects that you could open in that manner, which is why I'm not certain. But I think it could be a cupboard. I think that's even likely.
I think it's especially funny that in my improv acting out of the cupboard, I, for whatever reason, lean into it. Like, I wouldn't bang my head on the door as I'm opening it. Just, bah.
When I remember whenever, like, in speech, people would pantomime, like, a glass of alcohol and, like, pretend. I remember it always felt like they looked, and I know that this is a podcast, and although we do release it on YouTube,
yes.
You won't be able to see probably a good portion of our huge following and audience won't be able to see what I'm pantomiming. But like when they pantomime a drink, they're always like, like biting their thumb, and I'm like, that does not look. Do you have any pantomime, like pet peeves or something? Sometimes some people get really mad when you do this
people
for
hate
the phone
this.
Instead of like actually.
Holding
but I'm
phone.
kind of addicted to the camp
I love this.
of the like Okay, so to explain to the viewers, one, we're in gorgeous gowns.
We are.
We look hot as fuck. I mean, it's insane.
For a Sunday afternoon,
my glasses have both arms on them. It's not. They're not precariously placed on my head. So for those, we look amazing.
We look
and
so great.
I was, like when like you do like, hey, hang ten, like the like surfer boy.
Yes.
That
it's a
when
pinky and
people
the thumb.
do that, the pinky and the thumb for their phone, but then other people pretend
They
to
hold a
a
literal phone.
Yeah, or a fake phone.
But the thing is, it's interesting you say that, just because I remember the only improv classes I ever took after college was I did music improv at Second City.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing. I did every level up to 6. Did the final thing.
I've
psychopath.
considered taking musical improv several times, partially because of this podcast. I partially did this podcast because when I first came to Chicago, I auditioned for Mint at the Annoyance Theater.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to say about my audition. Was I very funny? Yes.
Okay.
Was I good at singing? Yes.
Of course.
Was I necessarily being good at this improv audition? No, I can't say that for sure. I think there were several improv rules that I broke, kind of tacitly.
I mean, I famously said no but on that episode with Joe Fernandez, so I get it.
Yeah.
I famously said no but.
Yeah.
So I'm not an improviser myself. I did music improv. I did it because I wanted the songwriting stuff.
If improvisers wouldn't say yes and not no but, then why would they have such flat asses? That's right. I'm calling you out, improvisers.
Yeah.
You got a flat
ass.
Anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
No, all I was gonna say is that, like, yes, flattest asses I've ever seen. But B of all, the other thing that really just gets me worked up and gets my gears ground is that they wanted me to take the full improv before doing music improv, which is like, it's a specialty thing. And I was just like,
psycho.
I wrote a letter that was like. One of the things is, like, this was Second City circa 2017 to 18, so maybe it's different now. But I remember I wrote a whole letter and I was like, I have 2 degrees in musical theater. I am not taking your improv class. Like,
no.
You will let me do music improv.
Yeah.
You will let me audition. I will show you that I can do it. And if you don't want to let me do it, then I'm not doing any classes. So either you could let me do this one class I want to do and make that money off of me, or make no money, because I'm not going to do just regular improv.
That is tea. And they will do that for you.
Yeah, they did do that in the end.
If you're an experienced performer, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, the business model of, like, those improv theaters is they make their money off the classes. They don't make any money off the shows.
Yeah,
so
they
it's
need
like,
everybody to do every class.
That's why they make you do 7. You do not. Nobody in the world needs 7 musical theater improv classes to get on a stage. Now, I will say that, like, improv classes are fun. Like, they're a fun thing to do. And it's like, if you want to do, like, an improv class, it is, like, teaching you good skills and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, as a performer, like, it sucks for me because I know I don't have to take an improv class. I don't have to take one improv class. I would love to work with an improv troupe, and then they could, like, coach me a little bit, and I'm sure there are a lot of things I could learn. But I do not need to sit down for, like...
Well, that's the thing is, like, with music improv, like, the most valuable things that I learned, like, to my songwriting and just to being on stage and, like, working out songs off the top of my head, I learned in, like, segments 4 through 6. Like, if I could have just done 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3, I was like, okay, like, when are we gonna get to the stuff I don't already know?
Right.
And I think it got to the point where, like, they thought I was being, like, a diva cunt, and I was not trying to be. It's just, like, sometimes I would just come in there, like, like the teenager who is in pre-cal when they should be in cal, but they won't do the homework, so they're in the lower level class. Yeah. That's how I felt. I was just like I'm not an improviser, so you guys are making me do all this, but I
always got excited as a kid when I was in classes that were a little bit below my intelligence level, because I was like, I can get Matilda powers. You know what I mean?
You seem super smart.
Like why? Like, I'm like, you're trying to put me in a gifted class so I don't have the telekinesis to kill everyone in this middle school? Is that what it is? That's what happened to Carrie.
Yeah, that's what happened to Carrie. They just didn't see our potential. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like I think it's so one of my favorite fallbacks is to just say, they're just jealous of me. And it's like, sometimes unfortunately they're not just jealous.
No,
they're just,
sometimes they're right.
They're right, and that hurts.
How were you as a student, or as like a?
So I'd say it was a good 50-50 split.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 50% teacher's pet, go above and beyond Call of Duty. 50%, I was a little bit of a stinker. I did some pranks, some jokes. I had some whoopee cushions in teacher seats. I did the one that was the funniest is we were trying to set up this elaborate like birthday display for my English teacher junior year of high school, and so I was the one that was assigned to pretend that I was becoming violently ill in the hallway, so she would leave the classroom to check on me so that everybody could set up the display.
That's good.
So I had to go out in the hallway and like turn my like I just like I had to really turn on the I had to fake be ill in a way that was both believable and loud enough that you would hear it through the door and come out. And I feel like I achieved the goal because she did come out. She checked on me.
That's high level acting, honestly, to like be able to create a believable fake vomiting noise that is loud enough for them to hear from the hall.
Yeah, that's honestly, that is my peak. I will never do anything that good again, but it was, I think it was worth it. It was fun. Oh, I got it. The one I talk about all the time is this is like more of just like experience being bullied than like teacher things. So when I was in 3rd grade till I was in 5th grade, this kid would moo at me every day when I got out of my seat because I was overweight. And finally I snapped one day, and so I wrote on the bathroom wall, I wrote, "Matt Mason is gay," which is like projecting.
Oh my God.
Also, spoiler alert, I low-key think he ended up being gay, but I'm gay too.
You outed Matt Mason? He was calling you a cow, though.
He was calling me a cow. But then I signed it. I drew a little picture of a cow so they knew it was me. And so I got suspended.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I have no idea, Matt Mason, if you're watching this, I don't know where you are or what you're doing. He was very jockey. Actually, the gay thing I say is as a joke. I don't think he's gay. I think if anything, he's probably homophobic. So if anything, I stand saying Matt Mason is gay with the cow, because back then it was like, I feel bad, you guys. I don't like to bring you back to my old age, but millennials in Indiana where I grew up, when I was in the 5th grade, gay was like a derogatory thing, whereas now it's a beautiful...
Can I say something, Jamie?
Yes, you can.
I feel shocked. I feel betrayed. I feel that you as a 5th grader in Indiana were doing that to me.
Personally.
Yeah. And guess what? Hey, if you're a 5th grader in Indiana right now, do better, know better. Everything you're doing right now is going to stick to you forever, and I'll remember and I'll hunt you down. If you say faggot one time in 5th grade... you might as well go out in the street and start begging right now, bitch. Get some practice in, okay? Yeah. So, yeah, you're canceled.
I'm canceled.
I will be looking for a new co-host. Put the word out.
Yes. I will say, I do think it's very endearing that I didn't write a slur. I just wrote gay.
That is,
that is
honestly, Matt Mason is a faggot would have been a little bit harder to swallow. But I think Matt Mason is gay. Plausible.
It was maybe me just like trying to like let him know that we support him, that we see him.
I remember one time I got called Egg Boy by this girl because she said my farts smelled like eggs. And like, she made some points. I can't deny that. But and then I remember like talking to my teacher and being like, this girl keeps calling me and this other guy Egg Boy because she says our farts smell like eggs. And I need this to stop. And then my teacher gave the most half-assed pussy like speech where she's like, people have feelings and they hurt. And I'm like. And I think I thanked her afterwards, and honestly, I'm going to take it back. So,
You're not thanked.
Thanks for shit, Miss Sheets in 3rd grade. Miss Sheets is your name?
Oh, man.
Okay.
Miss Sheets, do better. And 5th grade me, also do better.
Yeah.
And Matt Mason is the original person who should have done better, okay?
Right.
I never would have called him out like that if he hadn't mooed at me for... the thing too is that he mooed at me for 2 entire years, full years. And then I was like, you know what? It's time for me to really do something.
Yeah. But don't you have a whole song about being a cow now?
Yeah, I do have a song about being a cow. So thank you for that.
Okay. So Matt Mason, one of your gay writers, Matt Mason.
Incredibly
You harassed
gay.
one of your gay writers, Matt Mason.
I'm trying to think of... No, yeah, it's like, I mean... Yeah, that's one of my things. It's like, this is my first time sharing this with anybody publicly on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, I was drunk at a bachelorette party and I told my friend Michael, and we were laughing our asses off because
That is funny.
they brought up the points of like, it's funny that you just wrote gay and not a slur, and they were like, it's
gay.
also funny that you were bullied for 2 years, and it took that for you to finally be like, that's it, I've had enough.
Matt Mason was born this way. Matt Mason is gay, and that's okay. But this is fifth grade Jamie. Matt Mason is attracted to men and also women, and that's valid, and that's also real. You know,
we accept him.
Yeah,
for who he
but
is.
fuck him for calling me a cow.
Yeah, no, literally, fuck him for that. I feel like I'm trying to like quickly pivot to a different. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of bully stories. Did you get bullied? I got bullied. I feel like you've told me you were popular, kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of part of my darkness. I wasn't like totally like okay, so before fifth grade I don't really remember my social dynamics in like elementary school. I know I had like some tight-knit friends. I was mostly just kind of like a bookworm, and then I went to like fifth grade and I went to a gifted school, and so there wasn't like that much bullying going on in Washington, to be honest. I will say the thing about going to a gifted school, and I know this is a topic of tension among people, because
let's get into it.
Like I feel like truly I've always thought I was smart because I got into a gifted school in fifth grade, and because of that I've never tried to be smart again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're like,
I'm just like, no, I got this covered, and I can just do like dumb shit, and I'm like, no, I was gifted in fifth grade.
Yeah.
I'm actually yeah. Whenever I do something smart nowadays, I'm like, you know what? They were right.
Well, it's like, I mean, yeah, that's.
But
it does do that to you, though. I feel like I only had gifted classes for like English and science things, but like my thing, I guess my gifted school thing is that I was supposed to go to Ball State full ride.
Oh,
and I turned it down to do musical theater.
Wow.
So this is what happens when you make decisions like that. Just keep that in mind. But no, I was something I think about all the time. I'm like, I could have been Dr. Schreiner.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, you know, my family really wanted me to be. My grandpa especially pushed this so hard at me to be a lawyer, which I feel like your face.
I'm just like you in the court. I'm imagining you in the courtroom. I object. I don't know why that's like immediately where my mind went. I also imagine you walking in and like the Watch Me Shine from the Legally Blonde movies playing. Like you're walking in with your folder.
Literally every single like case, no matter what it is. Like at the end, I go. Actually, you wouldn't have been able to be there because you have a perm, and then they're like, I'm bald. I'm like,
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 are you?
That's the thing is, there were points in my life where I was like, I do want to be a lawyer, but it turns out I actually don't want to be a lawyer. I want to be Alicia Vikander. Wait, no, that's not her name. Who's the one who plays the
Vergara?
good wife?
No,
Do you know
not
what I'm
Sophia
saying?
Vergara.
No, okay. I'm gonna say Viola Davis because that's it. I want to be Viola Davis in How to Get Away with Murder.
Yes.
And also the girl in The Good Wife. Both of those. There was a point in my life where I really loved watching like lawyer shows.
I'm the same.
And I love watching lawyer shows. I love the idea of like arguing in a courtroom, and like I was a talented public speaker and stuff, so it seemed to make sense. But then like my one of my best friends in high school, his mom was a divorce attorney, and she's like, don't ever become a lawyer. Don't ever, because it's like it's extremely competitive. 99% of it is paperwork, like, and then like most people aren't litigators, and then like, which is the people who actually like
make the big bucks, I would guess.
Well, no, like who like are speaking in the courtroom.
Oh, the people who are litigate. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Litigate.
Yes.
Okay.
But
so smart.
So, but like, so I'm like, yeah, and I didn't really want to be a lawyer, and I don't really, and it's also people hate that job.
I mean, I would hate that. I would hate being a lawyer. When I say doctor, I would never want to be a medical doctor.
No, but you mean like you would want a doctorate.
Scientist. I would love to I think in another life, if I didn't love doing this as much as I do, I would have loved to have just like been out in the field with like wild animals, just like studying them and studying diseases and like figuring out why certain populations are dying off. I find that so fascinating, and I always have. But I also like, it's the other thing too is it's just like I don't like having my socks be wet, and so I feel like it's just like for that reason it probably wasn't meant to be, you know, like scientists, I don't imagine they're like out in the mud with like perfect pristine.
Yeah, my grandpa was an astrophysicist.
Oh shit, see that's that kind of science I'm
that's
too
way
stupid for.
Over my head. That's way beyond
anything
me.
That gets mathy.
No. Once it gets mathy, I'm out.
Once it gets mathy, I'm out. I feel like biology stuff is what I was like really interested in, and still am, and like to read about. But
I've talked to everyone in my life, every gay guy in my life, and they all at one point wanted to be a marine biologist.
That's really interesting.
I've talked to a lot of people who wanted to be a marine biologist as a kid, and there is something beautiful and just like mysterious about the ocean. But it's like,
oh yeah, the ocean kind of scares me though.
It's
honestly,
terrifying.
like the fact that there's stuff way down deep and we just don't know what it is.
That's insane.
Whew, it scares me every day I think about it, but. Because I'm sorry, that's like definitely one of my late night, like going to bed, like just starting to fall asleep, and it's like, what's at the bottom of the ocean?
I know. That's like when I think about how big space is. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, stop. We're not gonna. That's too much. That's literally too much.
It's literally too big for my little brain.
The vastness of space, crazy.
Pretty wild. I feel like, is it song time?
Oh, I guess yeah.
Is it
can definitely be song time.
It could be song time. I feel like try not to have another no butt day. So I guess
no butt day. No, let's get a big ol' ass today.
Let's get a big ol' ass. Let's get a big ol' yes ass.
I also want to point out the innate ridiculousness of pointing out that you were gifted in middle school, and I do recognize that. I do recognize that. I want to point out that I am aware of the lunacy.
I will say, I think the lunacy of bringing out the fact that I got a scholarship when I was 18, now that I'm 30, is comparable to the middle. We're both insane in our own special ways.
Everyone needs to put value on those stupid things. So that's why I am running to be Chicago Readers Comedian of the Year 2022, because these things are stupid, but they are also vital, and they're fun. It's fun. It's fun to say I was prom king. Okay. That's right. Fun. That one's fun. Even stupider.
I will say homecoming queen. They have like 5 final people that like go for the queen title. I was person number 6. Oh, so I didn't make it onto the ballot.
I didn't make it on the homecoming court.
Well, and the thing is, it's like I
won prom.
But prom is awesome. Yeah, I feel like prom is the one that's like chef's kiss beautiful.
Yeah, they didn't vote on the kings for homecoming. But anyway.
But yeah, I think the only award in college, I remember I was still not college, in high school, I was really proud of. They had like best actress and best singer categories, and I won both. So
100%. I made an awards show my senior year of high school theater because I wanted awards, and it was a complete ruse, and it's dark, and the awards show got real boring in the end because I won a ton of them. And
just everything there like Beckett.
It was insane and gross. It was insane and gross, but you know what?
Yeah.
We're not in high school anymore, so.
We're not. We're big kids.
We're big kids. Whoa. And
we're adults.
And we're big kids, and we're gonna give a big finish.
Let's do it.
Hit it. I also sound like shit right now.
Oh, it's fine. I'll try to do it in a nicer key. Okay. I don't know what 3 times 3. But I know I'm a beauty. I'm a beauty.
It's 9, by the way.
I don't know 3 times 3.
It's 9.
But I know I'm a beauty. I know I'm a beauty.
I don't know what it means to do your taxes.
Your taxes.
What does that mean? I don't know, but I know it's taxing.
Tax season's around the corner, and I don't know what a 401k is. And I don't think I'll ever get to retire. I think I'll have to work until I die. But I know this much is true. When I was 22, I graduated with honors.
Honors. I don't know what a mitochondria is.
It's like a science thing, right?
Yeah. But I know that the powerhouse of my heart is love.
I might have almost failed high school 'cause I had an F in pre-cal, and I might still count numbers on my fingers when I'm figuring out the total.
Ooh.
But I know this, my love, it's a lot.
I may not know what an allegory is. Just kidding, I'm pretty good at literary terms. But I actually know what a mitochondria is too.
We're big writers.
But oh, I know that when I look in your eyes, the stars and the skies, they disappear. I may not know how to read.
My name's Leah Michelle. I don't know how to read.
But I know how to read my heart.
And my heart says, I'm the only good actress on Broadway.
I may not know how to count to 10, but I only know that you and me, I can count to those two people right there.
I can count on us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I count on us again and again. I don't know 3 times 3, but I know we're meant to be. I said I don't know 3 times 3, but I know we're meant to be. I said I don't know 3 times 3, but I know we're meant to be. Eternally.
Wow. I guess the real 3 times 3 was the friends we made along the way. Wow.
Wow, buddy. That
was
awesome.
Hell yeah.
That was so fun.
Wow, that really was, almost, it was an emotionally big finish, ultimately.
I feel like that was like when you have the kind of intercourse where you cry after. It was like that. It was like very...
Absolutely. Every intercourse for me.
I love you, Beckett.
I love you too. I love this podcast, and I love the Lincoln Lodge for hosting us.
Thank you for having us. Give it for our accompanist, Becca Nix Tam. And we have Christine Ferreira running the sound booth, and we will catch you at the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wow.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
This is the big finish at Lincoln Lodge. We're about to get it on the show. So come on, everybody, and get the show on the road.
Let's get it on the road.